Hi everybody, I'm Billy Mitchell with FedScoop TV. Today I'm here with Trent Tyma, the Section Chief of Cyber Readiness for the FBI. How are you, Trent?
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, it's great to have you here today.
It's good to be here.
So today we wanted to talk a little bit about the ways that federal agencies can reimagine the way they do their digital business. It's a broad concept, but we want to try to digest it into a quick couple minutes here today.
Okay.
So let's start off chopping off at the top right there. What ways is your agency, the FBI, trying to reimagine the way it does its digital business?
That's a great question. So where we are is we actually started this concept, which is really only about 4 months old, is cyber readiness. And cyber readiness, what is that? Cyber readiness is basically the concept of giving our investigators and analysts everything they need before the fight, get them into the fight, stay in the fight, and get them back out. Okay. So under cyber readiness, my area of responsibility, I do all the recruiting, training, equipping, protecting, innovate, and retention. And in that whole, cyber life cycle, we're trying to focus on the gaps that our people need. So when our agents or analysts are, basically addressing a case, working, they're fully focused on it. It's a lot harder for them to take a step back and figure out how we close those gaps. So really what we do in cyber readiness, we're closing tomorrow's gaps today, and that's my whole job, is to focus on that.
Awesome. Thinking about the way that you're reimagining it and working on the cyber readiness, what kind of evolving technologies or new technologies, emerging technologies kind of play a role in that? Things like cloud, mobile solutions,
right.
other things that might be on there.
Well, it's really interesting. So, a lot of people don't understand, but the FBI has been doing cyber investigations and cyber since 1995. So over the last 20 years, we've really had to adapt and innovate with technology as it evolves. So, from the very beginning, just with emails, everybody getting emails going forward. But today, with Internet of Things and networks and clouds, how are we going to deal with data in motion, data at rest? Where is the data?
Yeah. And
then how do we get to it? Really, it's trying to stay pace with the challenges, and the way we do it is, primarily through our training, getting great training to our people, not just to our cyber specialists, but also our workforce. So we're constantly trying to raise the skill, as things evolve, not only to know how to respond to it, but also how to leverage it and, take advantage of technology to help us do our job.
Sure.
Yeah.
And you mentioned the actual workforce there at
Yeah.
the end. Obviously, as the agency grows and to become a more digital entity, those people have more opportunity to perhaps not work in the same building. They leave to work in the field,
right.
and whatnot. So as the business is reimagined, are there tools, are there apps, is there anything out there that you see yourself leveraging to make sure that those people are still connected, whether they're not on premise or something like that?
So we really have a twofold approach to that. So what we have to do as investigators looking at the threat and trying to figure out the data and how we trace the evidence back, but then also with our agents in the field, how do we get them the apps? So we give them smart devices, and they're leveraging technology out in the field like everybody else is. So innovations in wearable technologies, innovations in applications on the phone, so you can actually do secure queries on the street and not have them go back to an office. Truly virtualized ideas. So we have people around the country in 56 field offices. We have them around the world in 66 legal attaché offices. How do we leverage technology to, move data quickly to catch the bad guy?
Sure. And then finally, obviously, your entire office is kind of devoted to the cyber readiness, the cybersecurity aspect. But as this enterprise grows, it becomes more mobile, it becomes more disparate, and there's this kind of on-demand, anytime, anywhere mentality in the new reimagined business. How does cybersecurity even further play into that?
So that's a great question, because so the big thing is like so Consumer Electronics Show this year, 2017. Biggest thing was Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, and virtual reality, the three big categories. With that, a lot of companies are obviously trying to race to market to get these devices out to the market and make money. We get that. Security has to be developed in the beginning. It can't be bolted on, because the add-on doesn't work. And we collectively say in the Bureau is like, the attack of the toasters. So we have more internet-enabled devices, and it's growing exponentially. Well, that's creating the endpoints by which an attack or people can steal data. So really that thought of how your product is designed so the end user, when they grab it, we'd prefer that it was secure out of the box and then they have to open it up. But also that the thought is that if this is used where the FBI has to become involved, how do we trace it back? Those thoughts. It's not just connecting IP devices everywhere and just letting it go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. Trent, I appreciate you stopping by. That's all I
That's my
have for you.
pleasure, yeah.
It's been
Absolutely.
Thank
Great.
you so much.
Thank you.
I'm Billy Mitchell, FedScoop TV. Thanks for watching.